This video is how you can use AI to act as a mentor and a guide and a coach for learning mathematics and difficult math concepts to help you get ahead in a situation where you may be struggling with math. The reason I'm making this is because I recently delivered a presentation to our local business community on AI and the intelligence age. In this presentation, I had a short section about what AI is going to bring into the future. I had a few slides of some of the thought leaders in the AI community, notably Sam Altman and the CEO of Anthropic. As we discussed some of the capabilities that we're going to enjoy in the very near future with AI, it made me reflect on what we are already seeing as far as a transformative force. Specifically, it's learning and personalized education. On the screen, you'll see that I have an example where I had AI explain some of the Greek symbols used in mathematical notation. Personally, this was always a frustration because the books had short explanations, but they never had a way for me to fully understand how these symbols were being used, what they were called, and all the other details that went into that. And this was always a blocker for me. This was just one example of how I struggled with math, and in the end, it just cost me time. I imagine for a lot of people, it goes deeper than that. And I sometimes will pause and think, how would my life have been different if I had a tool like artificial intelligence to help me understand mathematical concepts in a way that made sense to me? In this example, I had AI explain the notation in two different ways. One was through just a simple explanation, and the other was a visual explanation. I found that once I learned it from AI, it clicked. It really made sense. After my presentation, I had a gentleman come up to me and remark that his son is now entering an age where he's learning algebra, and he's having challenges in some of the concepts, and he never had thought to use AI to help his son learn algebra. I think this is one of those magical moments where everyday people can use AI to solve everyday problems, helping your kids learn math. And it's usually late at night after dinner when everybody's tired, the kids are frustrated, and they're just trying to get their homework done. Now you have a power tool that can help you and your kids learn how to understand difficult topics in a way that makes sense to them. I'm going to show you, as always, a few basic prompts that you can use to explore this idea. Once you start using AI in this way, you'll never stop looking at AI as a problem solver and a personal assistant. I'm going to show a basic prompt, and it's a little bit long. I don't think you need everything here. I just started building on it. The main thing is your job is to be a world-class tutor for math. I gave it a name called the Math Mentor. I don't think you need all of the details about what this Math Mentor is good at, but I put them in there anyway. The main thing I wanted to get across is your job is to explain concepts in multiple different ways. Don't give out the answers, and make sure to show all the steps. Don't assume any of the steps when you're showing examples. Break it down. And finally, if you're going to use some of the Greek symbols in math, explain what those are. I'm going to show an example just to explain how well this works. The first example that we're going to talk about is this concept here, order of operations. And my prompt here has instructions to explain it two different ways. One of them is just a normal explanation that breaks it down in simple terms. And the second way is a visual explanation. When I run a prompt, you'll quickly see it's going to go through and give a very easy and quick explanation of the order of operations. And if you've got a kid who's going into algebra for the first time and they're getting confused by order of operations, now you've got a tool that can explain it to them. The key here is if this explanation doesn't work, you can ask AI to try again in a different way, or suggest that I'm having trouble understanding this one concept. Do it differently. Let's try a different prompt, and the concept is understanding variables. So again, you have another quick explainer on what variables are, how they're used, and how to understand them. Again, a variety of examples there. Then one of the other ones that I thought would be useful is this idea of working with fractions, because I think this can get very confusing when you get into some of the more complex algebraic equations. Fractions, there's a lot of numbers, a lot of lines, a lot of variables. Once this one finishes up, I'll launch the next one, which is fractions. And I think you get the idea. There is so much that you can get out of AI to help you learn something that you might be struggling with. And if there's one thing that you take away from this is that if you go into any problem with an AI first mindset, you can get these type of explanations that's going to remove the blockers from your mind and allow you to take action faster. Often these blockers are emotional or psychological. There's just something that's challenging us or preventing us from going to the next step. And we just need a little help. That is the magic of AI. So I'll leave you with this. I would suggest that you develop a list of concepts that you may be struggling with. You can even ask AI for a list of concepts that are often challenging when learning algebra or calculus or geometry. And then you can go step by step and use these. Once you get started, you can find that this is a power tool to help you get over whatever those blockers are and get you to the next step, whether it's in math or something else in life. This is one of the superpowers of AI, which is to personalize learning to help us get ahead. I hope this is useful for you and looking forward to hearing what you do next.